You might be surprised to learn that Christians disagree about the age of the earth. There's actually two main groups that we can put Christians into, and that is young earth creationists and old earth creationists. And all of the discussions and debates on this topic tend to center around the very first chapter of the Bible, Genesis 1. So I'm going to do something a little different. I'm just going to read the entire chapter so that for the rest of our talk, we can all be on the same page and know what we're talking about. So Genesis 1 says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and there was evening, and there was morning the first day. And God said, 'Let there be an expanse in the middle of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters.' And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse, and it was so. And God called the expanse heaven, and there was evening and there was morning the second day. And God said, 'Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear,' and it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas, and God saw that it was good. And God said, 'Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seeds, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which there is seed, each according to its kind on the earth.' And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning the third day. And God said, 'Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days in the years. And let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth.' And it was so. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser to rule the night, and the stars. And God set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the fourth day. And God said, 'Let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens.' So God created great sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good, and God blessed them, saying, 'Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth.' And there was evening, and there was morning the fifth day. And God said, 'Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things and beasts of the earth according to their kinds,' and it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and the livestock according to their kinds, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, 'Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish in the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth.' So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him, male and female he created them. And God blessed them. And God said to them, 'Be fruitful, and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish in the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth.' And God said, 'Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food.' And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning the sixth day." Okay, so going back to those two camps, young earth creationists, old earth creationists, the young earth creationists tend to believe, based on this text, that those 6 days we just described were literal 24-hour periods of time. And that would date the earth for them between 6,000 and 10,000 years old. In a minute I'll talk about why. On the old earth creationist side, they believe that the earth is billions of years old, and that those 6 days described are actually more metaphorical. And there's a few reasons for that. One is that The seventh day, which I didn't just mention, is a day of rest, and we are still living in that seventh day. So we know that that day at least is not literal. Another reason is that the word for day in Hebrew is yom, which can also mean an extended period of time. And then there's also scripture outside of these verses. There's one in the Psalm, there's one in 2 Peter that talks about how for God, a day is like 1,000 years. So those are a few ideas. Now, how the young earth creationists came up with the 6,000 to 10,000 years is they are basing that on the very first person God mentions in scripture that he creates is Adam. And so they are talking about the genealogies that go all the way from Adam to Jesus in scripture and using that as a reference for the dates. Whereas the old earth creation group has the date for billions of years, and that is based on different things we see, different evidences in the natural world. And there's a huge list. I'm just going to read off a few of them, but it's based on things like radiometric dating, fossil records, plate tectonics, ice core data, tree rings, cosmic microwave background radiation, distant starlight that we can measure, and on and on and on. Now, the young earth creation group would see that and say, in the same way that God could create a person and have it be a adult male, for example, instead of a baby, if God creates someone like that, they're going to look older than they actually are. And so they would say that the earth, those dating techniques that I don't know, I just used quotes, the dating techniques that the old earth creationist group would use, the young earth creationist group would say that the earth just appears older than it is. Now, these two groups can go back and forth for a while about who's right and offer points and counterpoints. And I don't think we need to get into all of that, because the 2 points I want to highlight are that Christians have freedom to follow the evidence where it leads. This is not a primary belief issue. This is a secondary issue that doesn't threaten faith. So it's okay to get it wrong. It's okay to not agree, assuming we're doing so with love and respect, because that is what we are called to do. The second thing that I want to point out is that the big idea, the point of Genesis 1, is that God created everything. God created our universe, and it really doesn't matter if he did it in 6 literal 24-hour periods, or if he did it by setting off this incredible process that has led us over billions of years to where we are now. Either way, God is the creator. He is creative. He is intelligent. He is powerful. And that is the thing that we want to celebrate with this text. So a couple of books that have been really helpful to me on this topic, and they will kind of give away my point of view. But so there's others out there to go ahead and explore, but I really love The 7 Days That Divide the World, The Beginning According to Genesis and Science by Professor John Lennox. I really love Why the Universe is the Way It Is by Hugh Ross. I've linked to both of those in the description in case you'd like to read them. And The 7 Days That Divide the World is really little. It's easy to read, so I highly recommend starting with that one. But I'm curious, what do you think? Are you in the young earth creationism camp, the old earth creationism camp? What and why? What other questions do you have on this topic or about Christianity in general? I would love to answer them either in the comments or in a future video. I post once a week, and so if you'd like to see me answer any other questions, go ahead and subscribe as well. Thank you so much. Bye.